We are pleased to have you today on today's edition of Press Hour. The atmosphere in Cameroon is tense ahead of the unauthorized planned protest march by an opposition party. The state sees it as an insurrection. Some human rights and non-governmental organizations describe it as heretic. Press Hour today focuses on where such an obstinate position can face the law. And we are also going to look at the steering committee, the second steering committee of the presidential plan for the reconstruction of the Northwest and Southwest regions that met this week during the week, and it was chaired by the Prime Minister. The steering committee came up with a procedure manual on how to proceed to go on with the reconstruction. That also we are going to look at the way forward now that we hope that the war may be getting watered down. Whatever, we are going to discuss that on Press Hour. And to talk about the panel, we have to my right Madame Momabi Yvonne, a civil society activist. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Killian. The pleasure is mine. Good afternoon, fellow panelists, and good afternoon, Cameroonians.
We have a man of law, a barrister at law, Barrister Munjem Fombat, who is going to tell us what the law says when something is unauthorized by the law and somebody is obstinate and wants to go ahead with it. He's going to give us the interpretation and read the law. Welcome to the program, Barrister.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being around once more.
We have to the extreme left Victor Cham. Victor Cham is the publisher of Municipal Updates newspaper. Victor Cham, you know so much about the presidential plan for the reconstruction of the Northwest and Southwest regions. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Killian. Glad to be on board with Madame Yvonne. I'm the barrister at law. Hope it will be an interesting outing today.
Yes, and we have one of our guests who should be coming into the studio any moment from now. We talked with him. He said he was on the way. He will meet us. That is Ndi Eugene Ndi. Ndi Eugene Ndi is the publisher of Newswatch newspaper. And we're going to set the ball rolling with the first thing on the program, which is the week in review in our regular slot, Press Review, done for us by Emanuela Vemney. Emanuela.
The planned protest march by members of MRC becomes that one subject running through most newspaper columns this week. The Guardian Post headlines, "Panicky government goes gaga, then swings into action against MRC." Before center, littoral governors ban unauthorized rallies to counter Kamto on the horizon. As the media sees Yaoundé, Douala on red alert as Kamto instills panic in Itudi, government weighs in to caution against such a march on Cameroon Tribune. The government's battle line is then drawn for anti-Biya protesters on the Sun. Even as Kamto recruiting opposition leaders to back anti-Biya regime protest on the Guardian Post, government reads Riot Act on Cameroon Insider and says no responsible government can sit and watch insurrection against a democratically elected president. The Guardian Post thinks government's fire for fire approach could backfire. The embattled government invokes terrorism law, then COVID-19 to justify ban on Kamto's march on the horizon. Then Bamenda is paralyzed as military battles armed groups on the Sun newspaper before governor wants civilian collaboration on Operation Bamenda Clean on the Advocate. Even as the Star doesn't seem to understand who is cleaning what in Operation Bamenda Clean, the Bamenda city mayor says decision bitter pill to stop crisis on the Herald Tribune. Just when the Post Weekender presents how gendarmes, police are fleecing money from vulnerable population in repeated raids in Boya. The rumbles of regional council elections then come anew on the Eden newspaper as municipal update sees fireworks nationwide. Cameroun Tribune then anticipates a decisive weekend for candidates of regional elections. This as scheming, lobbying, fighting over regional council seats intensify on the post-weekender. The Horizon then tilts its readers towards what it headlines: Cameroon claims early victory over COVID-19. Blood banks then run dry as COVID-19 crisis in northwest-southwest scares donors on the Guardian Post. Cameroon Tribune presents 6 months of resilience in the fight against COVID-19, and Bishop Kleda celebrates international strides of the COVID-19 medication on the same paper. President Paul Biya is then invited to Brazzaville on Cameroon Insider. As Cameroon Tribune reports, Paul Biya invited for the colloquium to mark 60 years of independence. Then Oroko Balondo's scam fully unmasks on the Star newspaper as the Post questions, will CDC be buried in same grave as marketing board? The Guardian Post rather takes interest on PWD of Bamenda that risk disqualification from CAF Championship. We end our press review on a light-hearted mood. A native doctor and 2 others have been arrested by police in Limbe, southwest region of Cameroon, for attempting to use passengers for ritual purposes. The passengers who had supposedly boarded a private car for an undisclosed destination. While on the way, the driver pulled over, removed a coffin, and said he was about to sacrifice them for rituals. The victims narrowly escaped while alerting the police, who got to the scene, arrested the driver, who later disclosed his accomplices. They are currently gnashing their teeth behind bars in Boya. Until I come your way again, this is your Hour with the Press.
Thank you very much, Emanuela Vemnui, for the press review. We're going to introduce our first topic. Our first topic is unauthorized protest calls. Can organizers face the law? That's our first topic. We just begin by talking about the atmosphere, because just that unauthorized planned protest has mobilized so many people, mobilize state machinery to make sure, as the state says, we will not permit insurrection. When you look at the atmosphere, what do you have to say? How do you read the atmosphere, Yvonne?
I am so disheartened with what I'm seeing obtaining in Cameroon. Unauthorized protest march. How did it become headlines until the whole of Cameroon is talking about this? I thought the law says if somebody applies or declares a public manifestation and the authority says that it's not okay for that to hold, they can stop that person. Did this political party in due form deposit applications? Why did these 2 governors go to ban something that the law has already taken care of? Well, are we not giving this event too much publicity than it deserves?
Let us say you are taking it from the conclusion point of view. It's a follow-up to similar activities, and in public places, especially security circles, they prefer to overdo something rather than let it go out of hand and they regret.
They have the yam and the knife. They know who wants to do what and when that person wants to do it, or a group of persons. Wait rather than do the publicity. They are Cameroonians who learned about it because of the over-mediatization of the ban and the demilitarization. Yes, today I live at Setevedi. From there to town, I will not count the number of cannons. I met big trucks, military men in gear. Why that publicity?
Victor Cham, the state has to to dissuade anybody who especially is planning to disrespect, to incite action against state institutions. I think
Yeah, that's right. That's right. What Madam just said, I think the two governors did not cite any political party or any individual. They were taking precautions in case of any eventuality. So we cannot say that it was MRC or it was Mr. Kanto. And the MRC saga that has gained a lot of popularity since last week till date speaks volumes of frustration and confusion from the party itself. There are the militants who are out there on social media and in the media propagating it. They had banned media outings, but they go behind and they instigate and inspire those things. And that is why I often say political parties get power from the sovereign masses through elections, not from the streets.
Yes, we're going to welcome Eugene D. We announced you. You probably had some issues coming. We're happy you are here with us. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. The issues may be related to what Yvonne just said, the military all over, and then the controls are so many.
Yes,
that you have to be identified at more than 3 spots before, from Pekas, a neighborhood, to Mbala too. You have to be identified at 3 spots. You show your ID card, you show who you are, and you answer some questions which I don't think were very necessary.
Yeah, I'm going to take it from where you've stopped. He's calling the name of the party the CRM because that is the party and the leader. It is not an isolated event concerning the same party, and we know of what happened before, and we know the consequences. So you cannot say the state is overdoing it because it's following what had been done, trying to preempt such a recurrence.
Kilian, the state is doing what they think is right, but Barrister Fombat is here. The right to protest.
We're going to go to
the right to protest is the right of every Cameroonian. It's the right that is given to every Cameroonian. Barrister Fombat will say I'm not wrong. It is Cameroonians are rightfully so given that right to protest, right? But when you say an unauthorized protest, when a protest has not yet taken place,
it has been.
No. The one we are talking about has not taken place, but you term it unauthorized. It is not fair. It is not fair. Well, you can only say a protest is unauthorized. I'm speaking because I know a barrister at law is here. You can only say a protest is unauthorized if it has taken place, and you go to where they are protesting and say, where is your authorization to protest? And they don't have. But when you start terming it unauthorized protest, when it has not yet taken place, then there is a problem. And in a country that claims to be peaceful, like Cameroon, I think they should be given that right to protest.
Eugene, let me stay with you. There is a procedure. We're going to go to the barrister. He's going to give us all the procedure. But for now, we know that you are talking about the day of the event. But before the day of the event comes, you have to announce, and that announcement must have an agreement, an authorization. So if you table your authorization and the person who is competent to do that does not, and you go ahead, please, let me come.
I'm listening to you.
The agenda is clear. The agenda is clear. Is asking people to incite what the government has called insurrection.
You know the agenda before they declare? You know the agenda before they declare the protest?
No, the protest is clear. The terms of the protest are clear. Okay, we're going to...
I'm just asking. You know, but I don't know. I know that there is a protest that is going to... There is a protest that is going to take place. There is a protest that is going to take place on the 22nd. I haven't read what the agenda is.
Okay, probably you didn't read.
I'm saying that the right to protest should be given to...
Somebody read, didn't read. Somebody read. What
I read the 2 communiques from both governors.
There were 3. There was one from the governor of the West.
So you read.
There was one from the governor of the West.
I'm talking about, I read 2 communiques.
I read 3.
Good.
Governor of the Center, governor of the Littoral, and governor of the West.
And none of them called the name of a particular party.
So why did they come out with such comment at this particular?
Let's come out very clear.
Yes.
The state cannot remain silent and observant. I mean, they observe, like any other person, when an individual, a citizen, takes upon himself to destabilize the country. The state cannot sit quiet, nowhere on earth. And an individual who uses the name of a political party and wants to create tension and ruin a nation that is working and striving towards regaining peace in some parts of the country, you cannot at this time in point be talking about protesting to oust a president. Let's be clear.
Now,
let me land. That particular protest is of Campus making, not MRC.
How do you...
Are you a member of that party?
I am not a member, but I have sources.
Are you a member of that party?
There was never a meeting to decide when a party should protest like MRC. For example, when last February or last year, members were in Douala and other parts of the country preparing towards elections, the twin elections. They got up one day and their chairman declared that they will boycott the elections. And according to my sources, he did not inform those concerned.
Okay.
They were embarrassed.
Voila.
They were embarrassed.
You confirm that?
And in 2018, that's somebody who was a candidate at the presidentials.
You confirm that?
And he went in on the same laws, electoral laws.
Okay.
But now you claim
that is very true. That is very true.
Of the electoral law.
That is very true. That is very true. I was going to say that. But my worry.
You are going to say that. You accept what he says.
My worry with the government.
Sentiment.
My worry with the government is that there is a law enshrined in the constitution. The lawyer is here. There is a law.
We're going to get to that.
They should allow people to protest. That government will protect those who protest. And before somebody protests, you term the protest unauthorized, whereas the protests are not yet taking place. You are saying that it's unauthorized. It means you
made that point. No, just wait.
This thing was
just hold on.
The spokesperson of this party was on the TV platform for a program, and he only got there that the party chairman has banned media outings. A spokesman, it tells that it was a one-man show. It is telling.
No, the first thing, Barrister, we will soon come to you to go into the law. The first thing is that Eugene has admitted that the facts he has given, you have admitted.
I have said that. He has said it's of Campos making. I did not call any name. Victor is the one who called the name. He said it's of Campos making. Who takes decisions in a party? Is it not the party chairman?
You must consult or no?
Is it not the party chairman?
There's somebody to say something.
Yes. Has neck. Yes. For example,
not alone. Political parties, I think you have a governing body. We should hear that they held a meeting and a resolution came from the meeting that they were going to go to the streets. And I want to come back to these dates that was chosen. I don't know who is even dreaming of ever governing a country that will take the 22nd of September, when the 21st is commemorated as International Peace Day, with what obtains in Cameroon. Why, if we really love Cameroonians and you love Cameroon, why choose the day after commemorating International Peace Day to call for people to go to the streets?
Barrister, your observation, general observations, before we go into the law.
Yes, my general observations, I think that a political party is like an association with its own rules, and nobody can claim that the rules are not respected if you are not a member of that party. Each party has its own mechanism. There are some parties that decisions are single-handedly taken by the president. It is the rule of the, it is it is how the party is structured.
The dictatorship.
Yeah, CPDM has its own manner of CPDM has the way it is structured. It has its own manner of having their presidential candidate,
like
the SDF, MRC, and so on. So you cannot be talking about dictatorship within a party if you are not a member of that party. Only those who are registered members of the party can complain.
Thank you for
the manner on which the party is run.
Thank you for vindicating me, Barrister.
Let me come up.
Now,
the Barrister has raised pertinent issues.
Barrister has
and
ended.
the issues he has raised, I think they're very pertinent. That members of the party should complain. Barrister.
Yes.
Where is a colleague Barrister Michel Ndoki?
No, you're not asking him.
No, I'm coming.
I'm not a member.
No, I'm coming.
Don't ask him.
I'm asking because
Tell us what. See, Victor.
These are militants of the CRM that have been active in the past.
Yes.
We all know them.
Yes. And
But
of recent,
he's a lawyer.
They have become dormant. Why?
It's an internal issue of the party.
Silent.
It's an internal problem of the party.
No,
it's an internal problem of the
it's
party.
not information.
Okay.
I have had it.
No,
Okay.
it is not because I'm dormant that you think I don't abide by the rules
I
of the
have
game.
from reliable sources.
Now we have got all of that.
Yeah.
We are going to go to
law, yeah.
we are going to go to the law. But before we go to the law, because when we touch the law, we're not going to come back. I'm going to propose to you what a religious leader said about the position of God in insurrection, in an uprising, or just simply said disobedience of state authorities. He even goes ahead to talk about social, political, and of course situation within context. Let's watch this.
Hungry and thirsty for peace, and therefore it is important that politically there should be that political sensitivity to the reality on the ground. That is it on the one hand. Then on the other hand, my take is that it would appear that because of political insensitivity, we see some part of the opposition taking decisions that are less or more somewhat irresponsible. From the social perspective, I think that the circumstances in which we are now does not really favor an insurrection or a march. We are still inside COVID-19. To gather so many people to come out to march, it does not favor the combat that the global community, the world in general, and Cameroon in particular, has to do to face COVID-19. Then, now, the religious perspective. The best way to counter or to address a political situation has never been by insurrection, has never been by violence, has never been by armed conflict. Romans chapter 13 is very clear to me that all subjects should respect the authority, that everybody should be obedient to the government. When you look at the history in the Bible, in fact, there were some very horrible governments that the people of God were called to respect, because the ultimate and the supreme and final government is God. God has his own way. And therefore, what we cannot do as human beings, God can do as God.
Yes, you listen to that. Very insightful, very, very insightful. Now we are going to come to you, Barrister. What is the procedure with this particular issue at stake, the planned action that you are saying we cannot call it unauthorized, but we know that it has had a precedence, and that's why precautionary measures have been put in place. What is the procedure? And how do you situate this within the law?
If I think for me, the solution lies in the law and not in public or political declarations. The law is strict and clear. When you start from international instruments, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights gives the right to public manifestation. That right is recognized, and that instrument says every member country must ensure the liberty of expression, liberty of demonstration. That one, it is enshrined in international instruments. You come down to the local scene. Our Constitution, in its preamble, recognizes the right to public demonstration. Now, we go to the law, 1990 law, more precisely law number 90/01056 of 19 December 1990 on relating to political parties. Article 12 of that law gives political parties the right to hold meetings, the right to carry out public demonstrations, the right to carry out public manifestations. It is a right instituted in the law. When you come down to law number 90/055 of 19 December 1990, laying down regulations governing public meetings and processions, the law is clear on that. It simply states that whoever, whichever party intends to carry out a public manifestation, you declare. It's a simple declaration. You don't ask for an authorization. You make a declaration to the divisional officer of the place where the march or the procession has to take place. The senior divisional officer...
Let us look at it here before you continue.
Yes.
You don't only state the place, you state the...
I was coming to that.
Objective.
In your declaration, you must state the itinerary you intend to take. You must state the objective of the public manifestation. You must state what is behind everything. You must give detailed information about the intended manifestation.
Okay.
Yeah. Once that is deposited, instantly, officials of the divisional office must give you an attestation on that same day to attest to the fact that you have made the declaration. Once you have that attestation in hand, the presumption is that you have a right to proceed with your demonstration. But again, this law says the divisional officer who receives the declaration, which has to be done 7 days before the intended date, the divisional officer has the power of appreciation. He has now to decipher whether that demonstration can lead to disorder or public peace, if that can go to breaching of public peace. Now, what I think we should be looking at is the question legalists will ask is, what guides the divisional officer to determine whether this intended march will distort public peace?
But you just said that he has the right to appreciate.
That is why I'm saying that the discretionary power is in the hands of the DO. He alone has the right to determine whether he judges that as a risk to public peace. And if he sees that there is a risk to public peace or there is a risk breaching public order, he has two options.
Yes.
One option, he can change the itinerary.
Yes.
He can decide that instead of going left, you should march right. Secondly, he can outrightly ban.
Okay.
Yes. But
that is before it takes place.
Yeah, before, of course.
But that's what we have been talking about.
So let me continue.
That's what we have been talking about.
Now,
you can stop it.
We are saying the law says it is the divisional officer that receives the declaration that has to ban a particular demonstration. Once the divisional officer has banned it, it does not end there. It does not say that the party or the people who intend to carry the demonstration does not have any result. The law says, this same law says, if a party is not satisfied with the ban by the DO, you seize the president of the High Court of the area where the area of the intended rally, and that court has 8 days. We don't wish to say whether the DO was right or wrong.
Thank you.
And so if the court sees that the DO had an excess the power, the DO went into excess powers, the judge can actually authorize the march. But if the judge says, I confirm the decision of the DO, then so be it.
Now, thank you for that clarification. No, just hold on. Barrister, the DO has the right to appreciate.
Yeah.
You know the DO works with the senior divisional officer.
Yeah.
The senior divisional officer answers to the governor.
Yeah.
So that is the chain.
Yeah. Exactly.
It is just obvious that if the governor is acting, he's acting on information that comes from the hierarchy, from his collaborators.
Yes, it's true. We generally say in law, I don't know how to put the English in my friend, say keep the plus pour the moins, which means the governor can take a decision that is that was reserved for the DO. But we are saying, if we want to stay within the spirit of this law, it says that it is a DO that is after receiving, and you are banning what has been declared. So you say the declaration of this day for this itinerary has been banned or suspended.
Well, since we don't have that, I suppose that the movement, the dissuasive action is in line with...
I think so. Well,
we hope so. I think that what Barrister has explained, you can't term any protest as unauthorized when you haven't signed any document banning it. That is where my problem is.
Let's be logical.
Not logical. There is no logic.
Is correct.
There is no logic.
We have come past that level.
It is true.
It is unauthorized
Cameroun is a crisis-prone country.
that expressed the interest that declared.
Yes.
And the DO has replied. Isn't it?
Yes, by
arresting an official of the party,
which means that
an official of the party who went to declare it was arrested. An official of the party was arrested according to media report. An official of the party who went to declare was arrested in Yaoundé 6. It's not against the law to go to declare. Barrister, I don't know whether going to the DO's office to declare.
Exactly.
I read it in the papers. I read it in the papers.
Eugene. Listen to what
social media propaganda. I think Barrister has clearly explained. It's an administrative chain. We don't know. That is why we are questioning why those decisions came from the governors. Why did the governors not tell us that? Mindful of, I think the law says that this that was deposited and it took this, it got here. We have decided, or we are saying that nothing should be authorized in terms of public manifestation. Was due procedure respected?
Yes. See, no, that is done already. Eugene read 3, Victor read 2. Means that
did they state as the law provides?
Well, what you should understand.
Okay, Barrister,
please. What you understand?
The governors were taking their precautions as the bosses of the regions.
What do you understand?
Yeah, the DO now acts as the law states that they will reply the party in question that has come to declare.
What I want us to understand is that a governor is a representative of the administration for a region, and the governor, it is also inherent on the governor to take certain administrative decisions. It is not the first time we are seeing the government prohibiting. We have, within the framework of the COVID-19, the government actually prohibited any gathering of more than 50 people. So it is inherent for a governor to be able to take decisions for the proper administration of his unit. So I think within that framework...
Now look at our topic. Can the organizers, given that they are pushing on with their plan, face the law? What are the offenses that they are likely to get into if they go ahead?
Yes, still going back to the law, the 1990/055 law on the public manifestation, the solution is there. It's clear. The law says if a manifestation is not declared, if a procession is not declared, or if it is declared and it is banned, and whoever decides to participate in an undeclared manifestation or a manifestation that has been banned shall be prosecuted in accordance with Article 231 of the Penal Code, which says anybody who infringes this particular provision of the law shall be punished with a prison term from 15 days to 6 months and a fine of 5,000 to 100,000 francs. And it says the organizers of such meetings shall be punished in the like manner. So I think that the law is very clear on that. And it even says it punishes also an organizer that misleads the administrative authority on the intention of the manifestation or on the itinerary. When you violate any of this, you are liable to a prison term of 15 days to 6 months and a fine option of between 5,000 to 100,000 francs. I think the code is clear, is spelled clear on that.
Now we're going to go forward. The government is saying that it is an insurrection. Yeah. What does the law say about insurrection? Somebody who is charged with insurrection.
Insurrection, I think, well, I have question marks on insurrection because insurrection is a very, very severe offense. First of all, the prison term for insurrection is between 10 and 20 years. And if we want to look at insurrection, we look at it is provided for in Article 116 of the Penal Code, and I will beg the permission for us to read because we can both analyze what insurrection, and it will be able to tell us whether we are actually within the framework of an insurrection or not. Article 116 says whoever during an insurrection whoever during an insurrection instigates or encourages by whatever means the gathering of the insurgents, or hinders by whatever means the summoning, the assembly, or the operation of the force of order, or usurps their command. That is, you prohibit, you block the military from stopping the insurgent, or invades or destroys any public or private building, or holds or seizes any weapon, ammunition, or explosive, or wears any official uniform, garb, or emblem, whether civil or military. So when we're talking, if we want to look at the law insurrection, we are looking at a situation where there are insurgents that are about to operate. Then now you punish the person who facilitates their gathering, or who commands their gathering. That's what you punish. Or you punish the people who invade and destroy public or private edifice.
And we know
or you punish those who are found with arms or explosives in their possession.
Okay. And arms also includes stones, knives, and
any weapon, any instrument that can harm is considered as an arm.
And we are aware that such protest marches always go. Yes. That's how they end. Now, Victor, we're going to, we have a second topic. We're going to ask ourselves, given that the barrister is giving us the offenses and the penalties, from what we have been reading, from what the state is saying, from what other people are saying, can the organizers who are being obstinate to go on with this protest march, can they face this law? Eugene, briefly.
I see a situation that is leading to a long-drawn battle. September 22, first of all, you know what happened September 22, 2017, when in the northwest and the southwest, people poured out on the street to protest. You know what happened thereafter. It is a similar situation. I am not a conflict resolution expert.
We're asking the question, can the organizers, if they push on, face this law the way it is? It will be difficult, right?
There is nothing difficult. The law is the law. Dura lex sed lex. Is that how they say it?
Yes.
Dura lex sed lex.
So
the law is difficult, and they know that they are going to face the law. Even the Minister of Territorial Administration said it, that anybody who dares will face the law. And if they are pushing on, they know that the law is there and they are going to face the law.
Yes, Yvonne.
Yeah, before they face the law, well, anybody who goes out and who has been listening to us already know what awaits them.
Okay.
They have the liberty to move on, or they have the liberty to retract. Yeah. We are already sitting on a time bomb. Cameroon is no longer the best.
We are moving on.
Pockets from all angles.
Yes,
please.
Victor.
Thank God their chairman is a professor of law and he understands those things better. So he should advise them. Then secondly, such a protest, we know the motif behind it, the agenda, is no longer hidden.
Okay.
So there is bound to be such, if care is not taken. We have opportunists who will come in to set up the whole show, and before you know, the country or protesters, maybe some are killed or whatever, and they start blaming the government. No. Every parent should take care of their children.
Okay, thank you very much.
It's important.
It is with that we move out of this topic into our next topic, and it's Northwest Southwest Reconstruction project is the presidential plan. This week, the Prime Minister's office, because that's the national coordinator, the national chairperson is a person who oversees that reconstruction plan of the President of the Republic. They met this week and a manual was presented which will be validated. And we are asking already with the manual, what way forward? What is the way forward with the reconstruction? Before we talk about to discuss that topic, watch this report by Christian Chair Atam.
The presidential plan for the reconstruction of the Northwest and Southwest regions aims at helping households and communities rebuild their assets, restore livelihoods, and strengthen their capacities to manage the impact of the crisis. This second steering committee meeting of the plan aimed at adopting a procedures manual to bring clarity in the process of assisting victims.
It was vital that we outline exactly what every victim, what every beneficiary should and must do to have access to the plan.
The procedures manual, which has been adopted by the steering committee, will also help in updating data on the victims of the crisis.
The data on the strength of which the initial plan was elaborated was collected in 2018, and we want to take the opportunity as well to update our database objective on the high instructions of the head of state, His Excellency President Paul Biya, being to leave no one behind in terms of the execution of the plan.
The next actions envisaged by the coordination team of the presidential plan include the continuation of advocacy for funding, training of mayors on data collection, and the promotion of confidence-boosting activities in the two regions.
Thank you very much, Christian Chiatam. I'm going to start with Victor Cham, who is very close to this Northwest-Southwest reconstruction plan. Victor, where are we with the latest of this manual? What does this manual actually provide as a way forward?
Yes, the manual is a manual of procedures that will be used to establish those to benefit from this plan, how they will benefit, where they will submit their files, the duration, and the warning and monitoring units that we've set up in order to ensure that there is transparency and accountability. Yeah, the meeting was chaired by the chairman of the steering committee, the minister, the director of cabinet at the PM's office, Balungeli Confiance Ebune. And the document is a 104-page document.
Yes, let's just go
to it. And it's structured into 3 parts.
Okay.
We have promoting social cohesion. The second part is enhancing basic social infrastructure. And the third part is to revitalize the local economy. And there are 25 points structured into the first aspect. Social cohesion has 11 activities planned already. The second sector, that is basic social infrastructure, has 5 activities, and then the third, revamping the local economy, has 9. Okay. Now for the first, we'll be talking about the supply of housing kits for reconstruction to various potential beneficiaries of the plan. That's part of the 11 activities planned for the first phase on social cohesion. Now, we'll be promoting women and youth centers, that empowering them, because some were affected by this crisis, and there's a need, like the national coordinator did say at the meeting, that there's a need to look into these issues. Now, the main path will be looking at basic social infrastructure, where we have schools, health centers, roads, market, and then we have water and solar power units. So the last phase, which is about revamping the local economy, we have businesses, small businesses, we have microfinances, saving banks in the area, in our communities. Then we have farms and so many other aspects that will be touched by this plan.
I think if it were a presentation, you've done it so well. Yes. Yvonne, he's done it so well.
He's done a good presentation, but the committee itself already raises a lot of questions.
How?
How representative is this steering committee? Was the bottom-top approach taken into consideration? Are the grassroots, those who are the most affected by all of this, are they represented in this committee? When they say data was collected in 2018, worse has happened in 2019 and 2020, where we are.
He just said
data was collected then.
He said they are going to update.
I hope you are not going to play the...
No, I'm not here to play that.
I am just questioning procedure.
In terms of procedure,
yes.
the report that we listen to, please,
clarify?
The report we listen to, the national coordinator said the statistics of 2018 are archaic, so they have to update to take into consideration what happened in 2019 and 2020. I think that was said very clearly.
Putting the cart before the bull, so whatever.
How?
Why hurry up to hold and already come out with a procedural manner what do you call that, manual
of procedures.
When you're supposed to go back to the field, do a perception index study, come out with the needs and wants of each community. Again, I want to say, these big guns that come and sit in offices, in this, what I saw here, that's not what's going to resolve our problems. So even bring the reconstruction. Our communities are structured in such a way that if they are given these tools and given the leverage, they will be structured. Let our funds, I'm talking about the Northwest, first return to the palaces. They are given the opportunity to reorganize their quarters, and from the quarters, it will go into the families and communities, and reconstruction will come from there. They will identify. Embezzlement will take place in this thing.
No,
they will identify what has been lost from their community.
You cannot already pass judgment.
I am passing. So much has happened.
Let me clarify a lot of things.
White paper lions,
issues she has raised, which are very important. Madam, this document is a production of the National Coordination and UNDP. The meeting was coached by the UNDP, and secondly,
I've been part of the consultation. We should validate
It
this
document. Means you are aware of it.
It should be updated.
It means you are aware of it.
Can we learn, madam? Okay. This document is a product, or is inspired by the recent trip by the National Coordinator to the North and South regions last 2 months. Minister Potterson went to Boya and Bamenda and listened to the people.
Sat in Mountain Hotel and Ayaba.
Expressed their worries, their proposals and ideas, and it is thanks to those ideas that this manual have been developed. And talking about data, there are commissions set up at council, divisional and regional levels. Now, we have NGOs represented, women groups, youth groups.
We've said that already.
Set up. And at the meeting, let me clarify, at the meeting, we had civil society at the meeting.
What civil society chosen by government?
They were there.
No, civil society chosen by government.
I know that's credible bodies were there.
What credible bodies?
They were there.
An ombudsman is needed in this country.
And to tell the truth, this document talks about the first 2-3 years recovery plan.
I thought you were just presenting the corner of a paper.
It's not an argument between two.
No, I just don't want him to be defending
it. It's okay. Let me go to
Eugene. State that, Killian, that this document, for the first 2-3 years, we talk about the recovery in these two regions. That is, those persons.
The guns are still turning
to the crisis.
Eugene,
the guns are still turning.
That was the word. Eugene, you're answering a question. You're answering a question. Please, we've heard you abundantly, Victor. Eugene.
Yes.
What I understand is that it's a process.
Yes.
And that it is on.
Yes.
She has questioned it enough. Yeah. What can be the way forward? How can we make it work?
Should I not also question because she has questioned enough? The whole process, you have said it's a process, the whole process is a sham to me. The reconstruction issue is a sham.
No,
let me tell you. Let me tell you. That is my opinion. Be democratic. Be democratic. Be democratic. Please be democratic. You cannot construct when the minds of the people have not yet been constructed. You cannot construct when the minds of the people have not yet been constructed. You cannot construct when guns are still smoking. You cannot construct when guns are still smoking, sir. You cannot construct when the minds of the people have not been constructed. You cannot construct when guns are still smoking. You have to handle this. There is a commission. There is a commission to disarm. There is a commission to disarm. That was a very good idea.
Listen first.
There is a please. You have spoken. I did not stop you. I did not interrupt. You have spoken. You have spoken at length.
You talked of democracy.
Accept my opinion.
You talked of democracy, right? Please.
What I'm saying is, there is a commission to disarm.
Eugene,
there is a commission to disarm.
Eugene, hold on. You talked about democracy.
Yes.
I don't think that when you are speaking that way, you are democratic.
Exactly.
No, just listen. I ask you a process. You may say is an opinion, as he says.
It is my opinion.
Yes, and we respect all opinions.
Thank you.
It's a process. Is going on. We had a similar topic here, and we are told that today is better than it was yesterday. I think it's a fact. That is a fact. We cannot question.
What do you think? But it's not the same way I think. Eugene. It's not the same way I think.
Eugene.
It's not the same way I think.
Okay, Barrister, please.
A fact to you is not a fact to me.
Okay, it's okay.
I will start by giving an anecdote. Some time ago, one international and official of the international community was asked a question: what is the international community doing to repatriate stolen monies, stolen government monies that is in foreign accounts? What are they doing to bring the money back into the public treasury? And that official said, what is more important is to seal the holes that permitted the departure of that money before bringing it back. And I think that our manual takes into consideration. I have not read it, but I think, and I've listened a bit, I think that there is actually a procedure to ensure that if we are doing reconstruction, the destruction will not be following. I think so, and I'm sure that manual takes care of that.
To do that means that guns should stop smoking.
They cannot stop in one day.
I was saying that
they cannot stop in one
He
day.
will speak. The first time you speak, please.
Let's understand something. Recovery and reconstruction, they may sound the same, but the first aspect, recovery, for the first 2-3 years, will handle issues like lost documents, mindset deconstruction. It is very important. And it is after this that we will proceed now with reconstruction. We must understand that the plan tackles so many aspects, but we can't at the same time or at one time just be doing this and doing that.
So please go progressively.
We must start from somewhere.
Take the most important.
Exactly. Recovery.
From there.
We recovery.
Yes.
We recovery now.
Fine.
We go to reconstruction. And the reason why in Bamenda and Boya, people ask questions, but sir, guns are still smoking, this or that. He said yes. That is why the mindset deconstruction will go a long way to appease people before any other thing can begin. People lost their birth certificates, ID cards, documents, as diplomas. This first phase will handle all of that because some may want to travel abroad or look for jobs. We must handle that. It's important for us to understand that it's for the community. They own the project, not us. Now we must encourage people to buy the idea, and we must not think negative that it is out to spend or chop money. No,
don't let people think that.
No,
okay. Negative.
This program is not even of the Cameroon government. It is a program
constructive criticisms in your commission, sir.
The UN.
Accept constructive criticisms.
And
wait. You give me.
After I warn you.
Please don't come and promote UNDP. All those who are there are on mission,
and they are partners
in Cameroon, development partners.
Yes.
If they don't participate, what would they execute on the field? Their paycheck comes because work is done. It's not because it's them, that there are no alls. We have Cameroonians. I just said, if you are a representative of that committee, please let it be systematic. Go systematically, progressively. Please talk only about reconstruction, recovery, because we keep saying you can't talk about basic kits or what infrastructure. You cannot go and build infrastructure when the burning continues. Infrastructure will come after that. You people should go to a meeting like that. Come up with what is topical and talk to Cameroonians.
Not with passion. Even if
we love, all of us want peace.
Exactly. Sorry, I speak with a lot of passion.
Yes.
Now, he is talking about reconstruction, recovery, and so on. Can you tell your commission that they should reduce it to recovery, so we who do not understand know that that is what is happening? They should reduce it to recovery. Talk about recovery. First. Now, you recover my birth certificate that was burnt in Chup, for instance. You don't know where Chup is. You are a member of the commission. My cousin's store was burnt in Chup with everything inside, including his bike, and that was his source of living. You want to come and recover his ID card or his birth certificate and give him. He doesn't. You may not know where he lives now.
No, he does not need to know.
Please. I'm landing.
Yes.
I'm landing.
Do you know what? I will let you land.
There should be a procedure.
See,
there should be a procedure.
Eugene,
Jesus.
No, let him land. No, wait, just hold on.
He's on track.
Hold on first. Let him
judge
land.
me.
Let him land. This is what I'm saying. Chup, there's a Cameroonian. If he doesn't know who is in Yaoundé,
that's what I'm saying.
Who could get the commission to Chup?
I am talking about
even you
cousin. I am talking about the causing.
You understand?
I'm using an example so that we understand. I'm following up from where Yvonne said that there should be a procedure from bottom to top, not downward.
Good, thank you.
Now, if we go by that, you go and recover my cousin's ID card that was burnt, his birth certificate that was burnt, and ask him to come. As you recover and give him, and you are going, they burn it again.
Well, we are not sure.
Please.
That's being pessimistic. Okay.
What they have said is important.
Yeah.
It comes back to what I said, that the first 2-3 years, I said it, will be on recovery. And we'll have council commissions, divisional and regional commissions headed by the authorities of that area. And the members will be, we have funds and chiefs, NGOs, they'll be part of the commission to help beneficiaries who will come to apply. There are information sheets that they will have to feed them out and then respect the procedures spelled out in this manual. And I would like to emphasize that, please, the recovery, the first 2-3 years is strictly recovery. The manual says it all.
Okay.
And we should not misinterpret it at this point in time. All of us need peace, like you said, Madam Yvonne. All of us need peace.
Thank you, Barrister. We are moving forward.
Yes, if I may achieve something. I think that if we look at what we're saying, we're saying the same thing. Absolutely the same thing. I understand some of us in the panel, and I'm sure the public, when they hear reconstruction program, what comes to their mind is the fact that they are going to build, But I think that Eugene has actually explained, and I mean, yes, Victor has actually explained that it is a procedure, and I think that what should be done is to get the public sensitized on this procedure. Let that procedure be made public, let it made available to everybody, so that everybody sees that it is a mechanism that actual reconstruction will come at the tail end.
Okay.
And that is why
I hope that
since Monday,
very understood.
Since Monday,
very well
when the steering committee was handed this document and they scrutinized it, I am sure that the national coordinator, who is pragmatic, will have to
before you
reinforce.
Elvis, who's around. Elvis, come along.
National coordinator. No, stop.
It will be a forum for the people to understand the content of these manual procedures, so as to exploit it and to understand that first 2-3 years is recovery, and thereafter, depending on how it unfolds back there, we engage reconstruction, and it will take place
all of us know
full swing.
Okay.
Everybody will be on board.
So we are agreed that recovery first, and that it is part of the procedure manual. Now we have Elvis Teke here with reactions that have come in from some of you who have been watching us. Elvis, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Yes, what are the reactions that we have?
You have quite a good number of reactions, but I'm just going to take a few due to the time constraint. We go straight away with Mary Kilachin, our regular contributor, who says that those who are engaging into protests will face the law. And we also have Victor Cham, who is saying that those who get into the streets for protests are those who don't have the interest of the nation at heart. And Motebomo Ubejisa says those who engage into supporting protests are likely to face Article 111, Article 112 of the Penal Code of Cameroon. And we conclude with this. We conclude with this last one from Cham Victor once again, who says that
okay, reacting to what Cham Victor said.
What Cham Victor said, rather. Who says that construction begins with the minds of the people, and we should begin with construction.
Okay. Thank you very much, Elvis Teke. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being there. We had as panelists on today's edition of Press R, Yvonne Muma B, civil society activist. Welcome. Thank you very much for being there.
Thank you. The
we have Eugene D, who made it very hot. He got passionate, but it's part of the debate. Thank you for coming.
Welcome, sir.
Barrister, you clarified everything about the law on the protest march that is making Cameroon really hot. Thank you for that.
Thank you, and I hope our televiewers learned something from that.
Victor Cham, thank you for knowing so much about the reconstruction plan.
Thank you very much, Kian. God bless you.
I will also want to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for giving us your time. If you caught us halfway into the program, you can watch it on CRTV Web Facebook, or you just hold your peace, and tomorrow by 3 p.m. there will be a rebroadcast. Thanks once again. Have a good day ahead.